Running a small business, you learn pretty quickly that customer service is key. You also learn that some customers will test every ounce of your patience. I thought I'd seen it all until one particular Tuesday afternoon. The bell over my shop door chimed, and in walked a mother and her daughter. The mother carried an air of entitlement, the kind you can spot from a mile away. Her daughter, probably around 10 years old, looked bored and was already glued to her own phone. They started browsing, or rather, the mother did. The daughter trailed behind, sighing dramatically every few seconds. I keep my shop tidy and organized, a quiet place for people to find unique electronics and accessories. But this peaceful atmosphere was about to be shattered. The daughter started whining, "Mom, can we go? This place is so boring." The mother just shushed her without looking up from a display of smartwatches. I kept a watchful eye from behind the counter, continuing to sort through some inventory. It's my policy to let customers browse freely unless they need help. The whining escalated. "I want a new phone, you promised," the girl demanded, her voice cutting through the quiet hum of the shop. The mother finally turned to her, her voice dripping with exasperation. "We'll see, sweetie. Just be quiet for a minute." But the girl wasn't having it. Her eyes scanned the store and landed on my main display counter, right where I had just placed a brand new, top-of-the-line iPhone. It was still in its pristine, sealed box, a centerpiece for my new arrivals. Before I could even process what was happening, she darted over. "I want this one," she declared, her small hands grabbing the box. The mother casually walked over. "Oh, that's the new one, isn't it? How much?" I told her the price, keeping my voice steady and professional. She scoffed, a look of disdain on her face. "That's ridiculous. These small shops always overcharge." I calmly explained that it was the standard retail price set by the manufacturer. This explanation didn't seem to please her. Meanwhile, her daughter was getting more and more agitated. She started shaking the box, yelling, "I want it now. Buy it for me." The mother tried to placate her, saying, "Put it down, honey. We're not getting it today." This was the trigger. In a flash of theatrical rage, the girl shrieked, "If I can't have it, no one can," and hurled the iPhone box to the floor. There was a sickening crunch. The sound echoed in the now silent shop. The box was dented, the seal was broken, and I knew instantly the screen inside was shattered. The mother gasped, but her first reaction wasn't apology. It was defense. "Oh, look what you've done," she said to her daughter, but her eyes were on me, filled with defiance. I took a slow, deep breath. Panicking or shouting wouldn't solve anything. I walked over from behind the counter, my footsteps the only sound. I looked at the mother and said, in a very calm, very quiet voice, "You're going to have to pay for that." Her face hardened. "I will not. It was an accident. My daughter is just a child. Can't hold us responsible for that." She was wrong, I continued. "Your daughter intentionally destroyed my property. The item is now unsellable. The policy is simple. You break it, you buy it." She laughed, a short, sharp, unpleasant sound. "You have no proof she did it on purpose. We're leaving. And I will be leaving you a 1-star review for your terrible customer service and for trying to scam me." She grabbed her daughter's hand and turned to walk out. This is where my calm demeanor really paid off. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't block their path. Simply said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you. Everything in this shop is under 4K video and audio surveillance." I gestured subtly to the small discreet dome camera in the corner, its tiny red light blinking steadily. "I have a crystal clear recording of your daughter announcing her intention to destroy the phone and then doing exactly that. I also have you refusing to take responsibility." The mother froze. Her confident smirk vanished, replaced by a flicker of panic. She glanced at the camera, then back at me. Her whole posture changed. The entitlement was still there, but now it was mixed with a healthy dose of fear. She stammered, "You're bluffing. You can't just record people." I corrected her gently. "Actually, I can. There's a sign on the door you just walked through, clearly stating that the premises are under surveillance for security purposes. It's perfectly legal." The reality of the situation began to sink in. She was caught, red-handed. Her daughter, sensing the shift in power, had gone completely silent, hiding behind her mother's leg. The mother's tone changed completely. "Look," she started, trying to sound reasonable. "Let's not blow this out of proportion. How about a discount? I'll pay for half." I shook my head. "No, there will be no discount. You will pay the full retail price for the phone your daughter just destroyed. That is the only option that doesn't involve me forwarding this footage to the police and filing a report for willful destruction of property. I let that hang in the air. The choice was hers. Pay for the phone or face legal consequences. She looked cornered. She pulled out her purse, her hands trembling slightly as she fumbled for her credit card. The transaction was silent and tense. As the payment went through, I printed the receipt and handed it to her, along with the broken phone in its crumpled box. "Here you go," I said, my voice still even. "You bought it." She snatched the receipt and the box from my hand without a word and stormed out of the shop, dragging her daughter behind her. The bell chimed again, marking their exit. The silence that followed was a welcome relief. Stood there for a moment, just breathing. My heart was pounding, but on the outside I had maintained complete control. Later that day, out of curiosity, I checked my online reviews. Sure enough, there was a scathing 1-star review from a new account, accusing me of extortion and having a hostile attitude. It was full of lies and distortions. But underneath it, a few of my regular customers who had heard about the incident had already posted replies, defending my reputation and commending my professionalism. The story didn't end there. A couple of weeks later, I received a call. It was a lawyer representing the mother. She was threatening to sue me for emotional distress and for tricking her into paying. I wasn't worried. I simply told the lawyer I'd be happy to share the unedited security footage with you. And with the court, should it come to that? There was a long pause on the other end of the line. The lawyer said he would review the evidence and get back to me. He never called back. Instead, a few days after that, the 1-star review was quietly deleted. It turned out the mother's husband, after being contacted by the lawyer and seeing the footage for himself, was horrified. He called me personally to apologize for his wife and daughter's behavior. He assured me all legal action was dropped and that he had made a significant donation to a children's charity in my shop's name as a gesture of goodwill. He said his daughter was now in therapy to deal with her anger issues. It was a surprising but welcome conclusion. My little shop returned to its peaceful state. The incident became a bit of a local legend. Customers would come in and quietly mention they'd heard what happened. Respecting the calm way, I handled a very volatile situation. It reinforced a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the most powerful response isn't to meet chaos with more chaos, but to counter it with unshakable calm and irrefutable facts. My cameras weren't just for security, they were for justice. And in the end, justice was served, quietly and effectively. Thank you for watching. If you found this story interesting, consider subscribing for more tales from the world of small business. Stay calm and stay prepared.